environment for Ogoniland, but also an inclusive effort that will deliver value, livelihood, and a cleaner environment to Ogonis. And so if you look at it from there, then you will appreciate the effort so far. I would like to talk briefly from two fronts. First, as a member of the Board of Trustees, so that I'll be able to inform you some of the efforts that are being on from the angle of the Board of Trustees. This is because this program is actually on three major structures. One is the Governing Council, the other is the Board of Trustees, while the other is the Project Coordination Office. And the federal government has created these structures to ensure that this value is delivered to Ogoni. Well, I know and I can understand and I can bear that in this part of the world, we are used to quick fixed, and we are always very, very happy with when we see effort at quick fixed. We have been in this country where we have seen people hire generators and commission it in the name of turbine, and they were being clapped for. This is because efforts is made to satisfy the quick fix yearnings of Nigeria. But I want to inform you that what we are doing in Ogoniland is not that kind of episode. We are doing a sincere and committed effort to put back the environment of Ogoni. And this will take 30 years. And for a program that will take 30 years, I think the best that can be done is to have a platform and a structure that will accommodate this program for 30 years. Another structure and a platform that will mobilize to clean Impata site in 3 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, and then the other year they are back. So let me state that very clearly. Now, on the angle of the Board of Trustees, when we started, we saw the need to put out government hand in this business, and we requested for the incorporation of a trust fund for Ogoniland, and that was graciously approved by the Federal Executive Council and the federal government. That act of federal government shows how sincere they are to this project. Why did I say so? I'm saying so because by allowing the incorporation of the Ogoni Trust Fund, federal government agree with us that the yearning of Ogoni, that the $1 billion should not be used to clean any other parts, will not be done. And so they allowed us to incorporate the Ogoni Trust Fund. So the board has achieved, we passed through the rigor of ensuring that the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria approves and incorporates the Ogoni Trust Fund. That has been achieved. Let me tell you the importance of that. First, that has ensured that we now have a private entity outside government to collect the fund and disburse the fund. So in terms of receiving this fund and disbursing this fund, federal government has put their hands out of it. And I can assure you that that is one of the sincere efforts of Mr. President. He didn't stop there. He went further to give a waiver that the money for the Ogoni cleanup should be put out of the single treasury account. These are very sincere efforts. So with the incorporation of the Ogoni Trust Fund, what it means is that government or change of government will not affect this process. Because you can agree with me that if Mr. President completes his tenure today and another president comes in and doesn't like the process, he can decide not to continue. But with the incorporation of the Ogoni Trust Fund, change of government will not affect this process for the 30 years. Also, the incorporation of the Ogoni Trust Fund as a private entity has also given us the leverage to step out of budgetary rigidities. So the issue that, oh, we didn't have enough budgetary resources to work this year and the next year will not be there. This is because we will not be depending on budgetary allocation to implement this process. Rather, the Board of Trustees, the Governing Council, the Project Coordination Office will work to ensure that whatever fund, whenever fund is needed, it is delivered to the project irrespective of budgetary procedure. Now, as a board, we have gone further to look at this process and we say, yes, we will also need some support services. And these support services will enhance the smooth running of the board. So as a board, we will require financial advisors. We will require investment advisors. We will require fund managers. Why do we need these three in this business? It has been agreed that the $1 billion we are expecting for this project will come in 5 tranches of $200 million each year times 5 years. And so we are looking forward to a situation where if the first 200 million comes in and the budget of the Project Coordination Office so approved by the Governing Council, which will be transmitted to us through the work plan, will take, let's say, $80 million. It means we will be left with $120 million. We don't intend to keep that under our pillow to sleep and wait for when the next work plan and the next request will come for fund. Rather, what we intend to do is to see how we can invest this fund into low-risk assets that will be able to ensure that we get return on investment. And so we need investment advisors and financial advisors that will be able to advise us when and where and how much can we invest so that we will get return on investment and ensure that we have enough liquidity to be able to service this program. So the board will need those three structures. We will need the fund manager because the fund manager will be able to look at the fund, from which bank and the bank the money is, how much are the interest, how and the duration. So we are looking at a robust plan. That is what we are gaining from the high expertise of the chairman of the board. The chairman of the board, as a serious financial analyst, has been able to put all this on ground, and the board has approved that we get these structures. And I can assure you that with these structures, the board will manage this fund and ensure that we have enough liquidity as soon and when needed to ensure that this project is delivered and value is delivered to Ogoni. In addition to that, the board also will need the services of legal advisors. With legal advisors will be able to study the deed of the trust fund. Will also do some review for us. They will be able to get into advising us on relationship between every activities we do. And so that's also a support services that we are engaging. We'll also be engaging technical advisors. Why do we need technical advisors as a board? We are looking at technical advisors because when the work plan will be submitted, we will be able to fund it as a board. And as we release the fund, when the fund has been exhausted and more requests is being done, the board will be able to do some oversight to look at what the fund we release has done, how it has been used, and then the request that has come, what needs to be done next. So that will be done not by us, who are laymen, but by our technical advisors. So the technical advisor will be able to advise us that the fund we deployed has been adequately and appropriately